यूं ही नहीं मैं बन जाता हूं। कुदरत के कोने कोने से खूबियां खोज लाता हूं। गुणवत्ता की गहराइयों का गोताखोर हूं मैं। यूं ही नहीं मैं रजनीगंधा बन जाता हूं।
Get a reaction from Mr. Nilesh Shah, Managing Director of Kotak AMC. Nilesh bhai, good morning. Thank you for joining us. There was anxiety, curiosity, and now there is a clarity on who the new governor will be. From a market standpoint, both equity and bond market, can you analyze this news for us?
So market believes RBI is an institution. Undoubtedly, the people managing RBI does add their touch on it. But over the years, RBI has developed institutional memory and they know how to manage multiple conflicting objectives: growth, inflation, banking sector stability, rupee, liquidity. These are all conflicting objectives, and yet year after year, decade after decade, under various years, RBI has done an outstanding job. So market will continue to expect from RBI just carry forward the great work done.
Okay, now that's the easy part, Nilesh bhai, which is that RBI follows a framework. It has demonstrated in the past their ability to really remain independent. But individuals do play a role. There was a regime of Shaktikanta Das. There was a time when we had the impact of Raghuram Rajan and Mr. Urjit Patel. There was a time when there was Mr. Jalan and what his thought on the economy was. What do you think could be the rub-off effect of individual personalities here?
So undoubtedly, individuals play an important role, but they play an important role within the framework. The captain undoubtedly leads the team, but ultimately it's the team's composition which matters. Now, all these individuals you mentioned have done a great job in managing multiple as well as conflicting objectives. How many central bankers in the world can talk about the same? And no wonder Mr. Shaktikanta Das got recognized as the best central banker of the world twice in a row. In some sense, when Sunil Gavaskar retired, he said one should retire when people ask why rather than why not. So in some sense, after a great inning at RBI, in a distinguished career spanning over so many decades, Mr. Das is retiring, and I hope he'll continue to play an important role in guiding our economy from his vast experience.
So again, coming back to the bond market and the equity market, do you think it's pretty much status quo? It's time to move on. Okay, everyone was curious. There was a lot of anxiety. But like I said, now that clarity has emerged, is it time to move on? Is this headline more like a yesterday's story, not tomorrow's trend?
So undoubtedly, market today will believe that RBI is an institution, and the incoming person, Mr. Sanjay Malhotra, he's also coming with a very, very distinguished career. So market will assume status quo at the RBI. Individuals do play an important role, but ultimately institution matters. And obviously market is going to see what steps are taken, what actions are taken, how it is communicated to the market. So it's a dynamic process, but at least at this point of time, market will believe RBI is an institution.
That's how we analyze everything now. First 100 day of the Trump government, first 100 day of the new, Modi government. We analyze the first 100 days with a magnifying glass, or maybe it's become the new trend now to analyze like that. What should markets expect from the first 100 days of the new governor?
Continuity of policy. So far, RBI has done a great job. They have managed growth, inflation, liquidity, rupee, banking sector stability. They have to just continue doing that great job. Market will be looking forward to communication from the new governor in terms of what is his agenda, what is his thought process. But at the end of the day, it will be looking for continuity of the policies.
One area where you think that while Mr. Shaktikanta Das did excellently well, you can always raise a red flag or maybe underlying few thoughts where he could have done better or things could have been done differently, which the new governor should address immediately. A tough one hai thoda. It was stick your neck out and be vocal about it.
I know it is tough one, but Nikunj bhai, a person who hasn't played cricket should not be talking to Tendulkar or Gavaskar as to how they should play cricket. We are all outsiders, market participants. We have no idea what kind of stresses and objectives which RBI is managing. Let me give you a small example. People can say, oh, inflation is in the higher range of RBI's target. But well, you had to manage growth as well. People can say RBI lost $50 billion defending rupee as reserves came down from $700 billion to $650 billion. But please also remember that the same RBI built the fourth highest FX reserves in the world. Just 3 decades back, we had to pledge gold to raise resources so that we can meet our FX obligations. So it is easy for people to criticize, but I think as a market participant, I will say RBI is an institution. It has managed multiple conflicting objectives which no other central banker in the world is managing. They have managed it within, a jugalbandi with government. Monetary policy and fiscal policy in India has worked pretty well. And this tradition should continue. And I'm sure the incoming governor will have as illustrious path ahead as the outgoing governor.
Okay. So, Nilesh bhai, let's be specific here. And there is one area where you argued, everyone has argued, as to how can consumption be stroked. And what can RBI do to stroke the consumption? What is in their hand? Can liquidity issue, or if the liquidity tap is opened via the NBFC route or via the banking route, if any relaxations are done on that aspect, can that really address this entire demand or demand at the lower end of the pyramid? Because that is one criticism which now seems to be coming back again and again. The Reserve Bank of India, in their judgment, they were very tight.
So one can always give steroids for a quick recovery, but then who will bother about the side effects? RBI, as a skillful doctor of Indian economy, have to take into account everything. Liquidity enhancement to create consumption boost, making available easy liquidity loans so that consumption can be leveraged are like steroids. They have to be administered by a skillful doctor. It can't be prescribed by a chemist on the shop. I think we have to look at overall. How many years in last 75 years, India was the fastest growing major economy in the world. When the whole world is slowing down despite leverage consumption, despite debt, India is standing as a beacon of the fastest growing major economy. Now, these numbers can't be isolated. They have to be viewed in the context of global scenarios. Undoubtedly, urban consumption is subdued, but it is still growing. And the second quarter of September 24 was impacted by rains, Shraddh period, and low government capex during April to July, whose multiplier benefit impact did not come. Now, December quarter, we will see festival season from Diwali to Christmas. We will see wedding season, and we will see higher government capex. So give us 3 months time. Might be consumption will come back. We have to leave it to the discretion of RBI as to what kind of levers they are using. As I said, ultimately it's a jugalbandi between monetary and fiscal policy. Between subprime crisis to COVID crisis, the only major economy which reduced its debt to GDP ratio is India. Everyone in the world, all the other major economies kept on increasing debt. At least we should take pride that we are not mortgaging future of our kids for our presence, unlike many other countries in the Western Hemisphere.
On that note, we'll let you go. Thanks so much for making time and speaking with us today. So that's If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.